All right, it's preparing to live.
Good morning, everybody. On behalf of California State Parks, I want to welcome you to one of your 280 California State Parks. My name is Laura. We're doing a special edition here for the virtual junior rangers that I want to welcome especially this morning. We are at Hearst Castle, and my friend Mariana, who's down at Morro Strand, is going to be helping me out today. My goal here is to have you folks move a little bit. And in light of the current pandemic, COVID-19, we're masking ourselves up. Now, because we're outside, we can go ahead and remove our masks. And so I'm going to do that because we're going to be exercising outside. And I'll be putting my mask back on after we're done and washing my hands. Now, if you're outside and you have a mask off, you also want to maintain good social distancing of about 6 or so feet. And if you're inside with your family, great. You don't have to worry about wearing your mask as long as you're with your family. And we're going to go ahead and get started with our exercises here in just a moment. Just to let you know, if you're feeling a little bit lightheaded during any of the exercises today, you want to go ahead and take a seat. It's not a problem. Your heart rate tends to go up as you get your respiration rate up, and come back and join us. We'll be doing several exercises today, so you can take a little time out, come back and join us for the next set of exercises. You'll also want to possibly take a sip or two off of your water. Water is always a good thing to maintain your hydration. In fact, I'm going to take a little sip myself here as we get started. All right. Without further ado, and in the backdrop here, you are looking at Casa Grande, the big house, otherwise known as Hearst Castle. And we're going to be exercising in front of Hearst Castle today. Let's go ahead and get started. Now we're going to warm up a little bit here, get the blood moving. We like to do a little bit of jumping around. So I'm going to have us do some jumping jacks, maybe about 10 or 15 of those. In fact, today, as we're exercising, you're going to want to do about 10 to 15 repetitions. So my feet are together, my shoulders are up and back, and I'm just going to simply kind of jump up and down. Now, I'll also introduce some modifications today because not all of us are in the best shape. So you can just simply go ahead and move your arms or just move your legs back and forth. That ought to be good right there. All right, just shake it out a little bit. Now, Mr. William Randolph Hearst was a newspaper magnate. He was a multimedia platform kind of fellow. He had film production companies. He also had radio stations, and he also had magazines. He was the Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, if you will, of his day. He was known for that kind of notoriety. He loved to collect artwork. He was a wealthy man. And this gym that we're exercising outside here was worth $9 million, probably the world's most expensive gym. And in that gym, Mr. Hearst would put into his floor some tiles. Some of those tiles are going to be the basis of our exercises today. So if we come over here, you'll notice in the tile a little bird. Now, Andrew, when you watched Andrew on Tuesday, he talked a lot about the animals. So Mr. Hearst wanted to have in his artwork many of the animals that he would see up here. And that bird that you see is essentially, again, the basis of our next exercise. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to turn myself sideways so you can see this. If you ever watched a bird dip into a bird bath, it kind of hinges at its midsection there, like we do with our hips. That's what I'm going to want us to do. It kind of is a warm up. So you want to maintain a shoulder to maybe hip width stance. Bring your shoulders up and back. And again, about 10 to 15 of these. And we're going to come down nice and slowly. Now, for some of us, this might be a little bit difficult. So if you want to, just come down to about a 45-degree angle. You want to maintain your glutes, your rear end nice and tight. Bring the shoulders up and back. And notice that I'm not rounding my back, okay? You want to keep your back nice and flat, like a tabletop, okay? Bring it up and back. And if you need to, keep your arms at your side. That will cue your back to keep those backs nice and flat. You want more challenge? Bring the arms out. Bring it up with an inhale, exhale down. Let's do about 3 more of those. And 2 more. 1 more. more. Good, perfect. All right, so we did the jumping jacks, we did the bird dippers. We're gonna come down to the ground for our next exercise. But before we do that, let's highlight one of Mr. Hearst's other animals, the lions. Mr. Hearst had a zoo here. He loved the wildlife, but he also had a live zoo here, about 90 different species. And as you notice the camera there, that is a mythological figure of a lion. Mr. Hearst had lions in his zoo. And just like lions, we're going to get on all fours and do what's called the mountain lion climber. And our heart rates are going to get up. Now, you might want to go ahead and get a mat for yourself or a rug, because we're going to come on down. We'll use that bird dipper, so shoulders up and back, nice shoulder width to hip width stance, and we're going to come on down nice and easy. I'm going to come out with a little squat like so, and then walk on out nice and easy. I want to make sure also as I come down that my wrists and my elbows and my shoulders are all aligned, okay? What we're going to do is, like a lion, we're going to run like so in place. Now, again, for those of us that are not as conditioned, you can go ahead and keep this nice and slow. And again, we're doing about 10 to 15 of these. These will go real fast. Or you can run in place nice and fast. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and easy. And we'll walk it back on up, squatting and coming on up, shaking it on out. All right. How about a little sip of water? Your heart rate got up there. I know I'm breathing a little hard. Maybe we can take a little sip of water. It's always good to try to get your posture up and back with those shoulders. Okay, so while you're catching your breath, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about Mr. Hearst's house here. In fact, his front door. You'll notice there's an archway up there. And this archway is part of a 16th century doorway from Spain. And the archway was actually done by Ed Trinkeller, a 20th century iron worker that Mr. Hearst hired to do this. And that is gilded gold that you see there. Now, that 180 degrees looks like, that arch looks like a rainbow. That's going to be the basis of our next exercise. They're called rainbow rounders. We're going to work those shoulders, those triceps, and those biceps. What we'll do, stance again, shoulder to hip width stance. Bring the shoulders up and back. Nice tight tush. Nice tight tummy. Bring the arms straight out, palms facing each other. Then we're going to come up and over our head and arch like a rainbow. Okay, and up and over. Now, if you can't reach all the way, just bring the arms out. Again, some of us might have some shoulder issues or might not be as conditioned. You want a little bit more of a challenge? Bring a squat into it. So as we come out and down, you can do a little squat. Let's try 5 more of those. Down. And inhale as you come up from that squat. Exhale as you come down. So we're getting a little bit more of what we call a full body workout. Let's do 2 more of these. Down and up. Rainbow rounder. Down. And there it is. All right. Hopefully now you've caught your breath. And imagine rainbows here. It's a beautiful day. We've got a marine layer here coming up from the coast. But you're taking a look at Mr. Hearst's backyard as the camera begins to pan over there to the left. You are looking at Mr. Hearst's ranch. He once owned about 250,000 acres. Today's ranch is about 82,000 acres or thereabouts. And Mr. Hearst had that zoo, those zoo animals throughout the ranch, but some of the animals that he had here ran free. And those animals were known as zebras. In fact, the descendants of the original zebras still roam the ranch today. That's the basis of our next exercise. We're gonna get that heart rate up. We're gonna do what are called some zebra posterior kickers. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and show you my profile here so you can see what this exercise is about. Again, a nice wide stance, shoulder to hip width stance, shoulders up and back. And you wanna keep the tush nice and tight. This is your posterior. We're gonna go ahead and kick just like so with our heels back and forth. Now, some of us who are less conditioned, you'll just wanna go ahead and march in place, but kicking the posterior just like so. If you wanna bring a little bit more aerobic into it, get the arms, which are at a 90-degree angle at the elbow, back and forth. And if you really wanna bring some aerobic heart rate elevation into this, bring those legs up just like so. We'll do about 5 more of these. 3, 2, 1. There it is. All right. So we're going to go ahead and take a look in those tiles that some of the other animals you didn't have in a zoo, but certainly roam the ranch. The lizard. Now, it's not actually a lizard that you'll be looking at here with the camera. You're looking at a dragon. And dragons, like lizards, are reptiles. The mythological lizard that you see right there. And the lizard is going to be the basis for our next two exercises. We're going to do what are called lizard push-ups. Okay, and I'm going to come back to my mat because you'll want to probably be on your knees for those of you that are less conditioned, or on your toes. And we're doing little pulses as well with those push-ups. We'll go back into that bird dipper stance, come on down to a squat, walk it on out. And for those of us that need to do the push-ups on our knees and our hands, this is just like looking like a little bit of a bear, or if you will, a little bit of a dog. Keep the wrists, elbows, shoulders aligned, and you're just going to simply push down and up. Make sure that as you're pushing down and then pushing back up, the elbows stay aligned. You don't want to have those elbows flaring out. Now, for those of you that want a little bit more on that lizard push-up, bring it down, bring it up. Notice that I came out a little bit farther onto my mat, keeping those elbows in. If you want a little bit more, come to the toes, okay? And if you want to just pulse, you just pulse like so. Let's try 5 more of those. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, come down to the knees and then come on back up. You can stay on that mat if you wish, because the next exercise involving the lizard is called the lizard lunge. So lizards, they like to not only push up with their front paws, but their back paws, they're also going to come down like so. They actually come on down like this, okay? It's a little lizard lunge. And then we can alternate, come back up, a little balance is required here, and then back down, and up, and then back down. You probably want to do about 5 of these per leg. Now, with respect to the lizard lunge, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you could actually go ahead and walk with that lunge. So as the camera follows me, I'm just simply going down, bringing it up, coming down, bringing it up, one leg in front of the other. All right, maybe a couple more of these, one more. All right, excellent. So we'll take a little bit of a rest. We'll talk a little bit about some of the sea life that's here. And that sea life involves dolphins. We're going to come down to our mat, shoulders up and back, hinging at the hip. Dolphins like to kick. And we're going to come down onto our belly, just like so. All right. I'm going to grab my water, get that out of the way there. And what dolphins like to do is they like to just simply flutter up and back. I shouldn't say flutter, but rather to keep their feet together. We're pointing our toes as we do this, and up and back. This really is good for the lower back, good for the posterior. If you want more of a challenge, put the arms out in front. We'll do about 5 more of these. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Come up onto all fours. And some of Mr. Hearst's artwork was brought up here by horses, probably also by donkeys. Donkeys are the basis of our next exercise. We're going to go ahead, come on up with all fours, this way our toes. And we look like a triangle here, almost like a downward facing dog, as is said in some of the sports. We're going to go ahead and bring our knee in and then kick straight out. Now, some of us can't bring that knee in, so you can just simply kick out if you want, or if you want to stay on your knees and you can kick out like that if you need a little bit less strenuous exercise. Okay, we'll do 10 of those on each leg. So we come in, we come out. We will just stay on the one leg, get about 10 or so of those done. You want to kick straight out. You should feel that in your posterior, your rear end, also what's called the hamstring. And of course, you're kicking out through your foot, so you're going to feel that through your calf as well. Give me 2 more of these. Let's bring it down and we'll switch legs. So knee in and out. Don't forget to breathe. I have been meaning to mention that to you. You always want to make sure you've got good natural breath in and out with these exercises. 3 more of these. 2 and 1. Good. And we'll bring it on down. Nice and easy. Let's go ahead, take a little drink of our water. Catch your breath while you're at it. Shoulders up and back. I don't know about you, but I can't believe I'm working outside here at Hearst Castle, a $9 million gym in 1927 terms. Probably the most expensive gym that you'll ever work out as well. All right, everybody. Thank you for letting me catch my breath. We'll come on back up. And another animal that tends to roam here at the Hearst Ranch is the bunny rabbit. And you'll see that embedded in the tiles there. You're probably wondering who made all of these tiles. Well, Mr. Hearst hired an architect. First female architect licensed state of California. Her name was Julia Morgan, and she created all the tiles that you see here. She also helped to build this project that spanned the years 1919 and 1947. So she was a very talented woman, to say the least. Architect, interior designer, even created the tiles. So we're going to do what are called bunny hoppers, because the bunny rabbit, again, part of the ranch here. So feet are close together on this particular exercise. We bring the shoulders up and back. Let's try about 15 or 20 of these. We're just going to come down into a little squat and hop up. Now, for those of us that can't hop, we'll just simply come down and come back up. It's almost like a bird dipper, but we're putting a little bend in our knees for those of you that need less of a challenge there as you come up, okay? But the bunny hop, I'm going to go ahead and show as with the hop for those of you that are in better shape. So again, coming up, let's try 15 of these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15. All right. Again, grab a little water, grab some breath, and let's go ahead. We're going to head down to another beautiful location to finish out our exercises for the day. We're going to go down to the oldest and most ancient sculpture here in Mr. Hearst's art collection, between 32 and 3,500 years of age from ancient Egypt. Let's go ahead and take a walk down. As we do so, if you want to bring your water, maybe your mat if you wish. I'm going to leave my mat here for the time being. And as the camera is showing you there, if there's a green layer, it's beginning to subside and recede away from the coastline. You're looking at probably the most beautiful outdoor portion of Mr. Hearst's front yard, the Pacific Ocean. And we're walking over towards that ancient Egyptian sculpture here. But I want to give you a view of what you're looking at here. This would be what Mr. Hearst would see from that big house we were exercising in front of, Casa Grande. You're looking at San Simeon Harbor and the Pacific Ocean. Can you imagine waking up to that every single day? And as such, that's a very serene, peaceful, calming sort of backdrop for our next exercise. And for this young lady, her name is Sekhmet. Sekhmet is an ancient Egyptian goddess. Sekhmet is an ancient Egyptian goddess. And Mr. Hearst would collect these art pieces up until the year 1930. She's about 3,200 years of age in the middle there. Those two middle structures and the two head pieces that you see there are about 3,500 years of age. She was the daughter of the sun god Ra, which is symbolized by the solar disk behind her head on that far right-hand headpiece. Now, she's from Egypt originally, half woman and half lioness. And she probably found the cobra to be one of her friends. And cobras, of course, are endemic to Egypt. That brings us to our next exercise. So if you got your mat down, that's great. I don't have my mat, that's all right. We're gonna come on down, shoulders up and back, nice wide stance, shoulder hip width stance. Coming down to that bird dipper, and we're gonna come all the way down and do a nice little meditative cobra pose, like the snake. As you come down, you wanna have your hands right next to your chest, okay? You wanna point your toes, and we'll bring the legs up off the ground. We're just simply coming up just like so and stretching that whole lower and upper back there, up and back down. Now, for those of you that want a little bit more of a challenge, come up into a push-up, like a cobra push-up. And again, you want to make sure that your elbows are nice and aligned with the wrists and the shoulders, keeping them in. Keep your posterior nice and tight. We'll do 5 more of these. Exhale as you come up. Inhale as you come down. 3 more, everybody. Back down. And 1 more for good measure. Good. Go ahead, tiptoe yourself back up or walk your hands in as I'm doing. Come on up into our standing position. And everybody, I want to thank you for coming out to Hearst Castle, working out with us here at Parks PE on this Thursday. We're going to take you down to Mariana in that beautiful Morro Bay Strand. See you next week.
Hello, everyone. That was awesome, Laura. Thank you for taking us around Hearst Castle and doing some awesome activities. I was joining you right here from Morro Strand State Beach. That is where I am located. My name is Mariana, and just like Laura, I work for California State Parks. So I work for the symbol on my hat. And I am a park interpreter specialist. So I get to do fun activities like this with you guys, or with everyone. And I'm just gonna give you a glimpse of the beach because it's so beautiful. It's warm outside, even though it's cloudy and overcasted, it is still a wonderful beach day. I am in a public area, so I will be wearing my mask, and I am practicing social and physical distancing. So my mat is separated from all the other visitors that are using this space as well. There's a few surfers behind me. We're each sharing space with the wildlife that's here. So cool. And maybe you can even see some of the seabirds that are behind me. Those are western gulls, if you can see them. There's a lot over here. Kind of go this way. So nice. Okay, let's get started with some more activities. We'll just do a few more and then we'll cool down with some stretches. There we go. I am on the beach. I have a mat and a blanket down. You can kind of see right there. And I'll be going back and forth from moving the camera. Okay. I'm actually going to move this up a little bit and slide my mat like this. Okay. Nice. All right. Well, you guys learned so much with Laura doing all of those fun exercises. She's very experienced, and it was so exciting to join. I was doing all the activities here, and I learned a lot about Hearst Castle while joining. Okay, to start off, let's do some bobcat jumps. Bobcat is an animal that you can see here in the hills behind Morro Strand State Beach, and they can jump over 6 feet. Whoa, that is like a whole foot taller than what I am. So to do that, we're just gonna go down low and then reach for the sky. Go down low and reach for the sky. Let's do it a few more times. Let's do it 10 times. Okay, ready? 1, 2, reach for the sky. 3, 4, 5, 6. We're almost there. 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Take a few breaths. Nice. Those are bobcat jumps. And now let's get down low in a squat position. There's people right behind me. That's why I'm wearing my mask. Let's get down low. And you want your knees to not go over your toes when you're in the squatting position. And I can show you more down. There we go. Making sure that my knees are not going over my toes. And we're gonna do some crab squats. So you can see a lot of crabs in this position. And look at, I'm even gonna picture my little pincher claws, and I'm just kind of walk side to side, just like a crab. There's a lot of crabs here at Morro Strand. I'm gonna do it 4 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whew, my legs are burning. And crabs are a food source for many different species that can be seen on Morro Strand State Beach. In fact, there is a special marine mammal that likes to eat crabs. Sometimes they might be spotted right out from the beach. I'm a little bit tired. But a lot of the time they like to be seen resting at the rock, and I'll show you the rock. Let's see. Do you guys see the big rock? It's kind of covered in the fog, but there are sea otters right in front of that rock. Can't see them from here, but they love to munch on crabs. Pretty cool. And they eat a lot of those. Eat crabs, mussels, and sea urchins. You might be able to see a sea otter from here. Pretty cool, huh? Okay. We did a little bit of the bobcat jumps. We did some walking crab ones. And now that we kind of just did a relaxing exercise, I don't want to take too much time doing it because I want to stretch too. So we're going to go ahead and start stretching. I'm going to stand up for this one. And we are going to stand on one leg, and we're going to pretend to be a seabird. Seabirds are super patient. They can be on one foot for a really long time. So we're going to go ahead and try to be a seabird. And I'm just going to take my foot and rest it right on top, right above my knee. And if this is too high, then you can go right near your ankle. Or you can just keep your leg up just like this and see how long you can patiently stand still with just one foot. And I'll just do it like this to join you guys. And we're going to try to do this for 10 seconds. And while I'm counting in my head the 10 seconds, I want to talk a little bit about seabirds, because you would expect to see seabirds near the ocean, right? Seabirds spend the majority of their life out at sea. It's actually been about 10 seconds, so we can switch. So seabirds like to be out in the ocean for long periods of time, and they are adapted. That means that they have body parts or behaviors that they do to allow them to live in their environment more efficiently. So it's easier for them to be out in the ocean because they have certain adaptations to making it easier. They have more feathers. They have a different type of wing shape, different than land birds, because they're going to be flying for a really long time when they're crossing the ocean, which is really cool. All right. We did some awesome seabird one stance or standing still on one foot. Kind of shake it out now. We also have a lot of shorebirds that do that too as well, which is really cool. Like an egret or a blue heron, they can stand on one foot for a really long time. They're patiently waiting to get a prey. Isn't that cool? I think that's pretty awesome. So let's get down on the ground now. And gotta think, let's go in a plank position. I know that you guys did some lizard lunges, but for this, we're going to just stay in a plank position like a lizard might. You might see a lizard just like this, resting on a rock, trying to get that heat from the sun, or maybe the rock is warm, because lizards are reptiles. They are unable to produce the heat to keep them warm. They get their warmth from other sources like the sun and hot surfaces. So let's try to stay here for about 10 more seconds. Let me look at my watch. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, good job. Kind of shaking it out. It was a good workout. All right, let's get to stretching our back as well. You guys also kind of did this position doing the cobra with Laura, but we're just going to pretend to be elephant seals and just stretch our back like this. Nice arch, chest out. You can go as far up as you would like or that you're comfortable with. Now there are elephant seals about 20 miles north of us at Piedras Blancas, so at Hearst State Park. And they cover the beach, and they are big marine mammals. Wow, they are so big. But what is a marine mammal? Let's break it down. Marine means the ocean, and mammal is a warm-blooded animal. If you take your finger and you point it to yourself, you are a mammal. But we're not a marine mammal because we don't live out in the sea like elephant seals do. They also have very big noses. That's how you can identify, one way of identifying an elephant seal. Okay. Whew. I'm gonna think we're good with the back. Let's also keep stretching our back, going all fours. So my knees are down, my hands are down. And let's go into shape like a cat, like a scared cat. So really stretching our back. Cats are everywhere. Maybe you can even see a cat from your backyard. But I like this stretch because I like stretching my back. And then let's go down to a cow position. So arching that back again. And then cat position. Let's do this for a total of 5 times. So this will be our first cycle of doing cat and cow. So cow again, that's 1. Go back to cat, then cow, cat, and cow, cat, cow, and one more time. Cat, cow. Nice. Okay. Ooh, my back feels so much more flexible, being good posture. Okay, let's try something different. I'm gonna call this a sea slug pose, and it's gonna be a little bit more active than the stretches that we were doing before. But I'm gonna lay down, kind of do a sea slug pose. We have lots of sea slugs at Morro Strand, also in Morro Bay near the rock. But I'm gonna keep my feet up and my arms, and I'm just gonna try to stay like this for a bit. And I'm gonna try to flip without using my hands or legs. 3, 2, 1, flip. Woo! Oh, I didn't flip all the way. And I'm gonna do this about, let's say 5 times. And do it again. I'm all sandy because my mat doesn't cover it all. And then I'm gonna turn. Woo! This is really fun to do it in the beach. And again. Woo! And again. And one more flip. Okay, good job. I got really sandy on that. I'm gonna brush it off. Okay. And then to end it, let's just go. Oh wait, there's actually 2 more stretches that I want to do before we finish. And this one is just like a frog stance, a resting frog. Just kind of spread like this. Down. Stretch the insides. You can also, if you don't want to stand up, you can do butterfly, where you tuck your feet in as close with good posture and stretching the inside of our legs. I think this kind of reminds me of a butterfly wings, like flying. When I was a kid, I used to do that for ballet. We'll do this for a few more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And to end it, let's go down and become a turtle. Let's make a turtle shell. And for that, it's also known as child pose in yoga. But I think it kind of reminds me of a turtle. And I guess I should go this way, make it easier for you to see. But basically, I'm sitting on my feet, my legs are spread apart, and I'm just gonna go down. And we'll do this for a few seconds. Just take some time. I have to take off my hat. Take some time to breathe and enjoy this resting position. Take a deep breath in and exhale. One more time. All right. I'll put my hat back on. And kind of say my goodbyes. That was an awesome Junior Ranger program. I learned a lot from Laura about the Hearst Castle and the activities that she did. She was an excellent instructor, I have to say. And quickly going to share a thought. I'm quickly going to share some information that I learned recently from a coworker about the ocean, because the ocean is right behind me. Do a cool scan. But there are a lot of phytoplankton out in the ocean, and they produce a lot of our oxygen. For every 2 breaths that you take, one of them came from the ocean. Pretty cool, right? So we're taking those deep breaths, doing the last stretch. One of those breaths came from the ocean. That's so neat. Let's do it again, just because I really enjoy learning. I really enjoyed finding out about that. And I think it's amazing because I might know the ocean, so I can really thank the ocean for giving me some oxygen to breathe. So I'm going to go ahead and take one big, deep breath in and exhale. One more time. Well, thank you, ocean, for one of my breaths. Really appreciate it. The ocean is an amazing place, and we get to enjoy it here at Morro Strand State Beach. Unfortunately, if you're not here, this is a cool way of bringing this amazing beach to your homes virtually. So with that, I'm going to sign out, but I hope that everyone has a lovely rest of their week. Thursday, weekend, happy 4th of July. It's coming up. I'm wearing stars on my mask. And remember to continue to practice social and physical distancing, wash your hands, wear your mask when you're in public for your safety, for other safeties, for your family and friends, doing our part to flatten the curve of COVID-19. Well, have a lovely rest of your day. My name again is Mariana, and hope to see you next week for more Junior Ranger virtual programs. All right. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye.